Andrade is gone from WWE, and this was indeed confirmed to be a release and not his own decision. The departure was not a mutual decision, and it was noted that it was not related to budget cuts this time. One WWE source indicated that Andrade's departure has been in the works for at least a week, and that this did affect immediate creative plans after SummerSlam. A number of talents spoken to had no idea what was going on and had no idea that Andrade was leaving the company or had already left. It was then reported that Andrade had ghosted WWE for multiple weeks while they tried to get in touch with him. This in relation to the fact Andrade and Rey Fenix were set to win the tag team championships at Clash in Paris. They had been on a hot run as of late, so it makes sense. It also does explain why Fenix was teaming with LA Knight during the European tour due to Andrade's absence.
Yes! Look who's back!
Then, where the situation further develops is that Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his latest run. It is not known how exactly he was in violation of said policy or whether or not he in fact tested positive for a banned substance. It is also not clear if it directly led to his release, but it was noted that he was suspended without pay as a result of that. Andrade was told to leave a TV taping last month and was escorted out of the building as well. A high-level source asserted this dismissal from the building was in relation to his most recent suspension and that it affected major creative plans for his tag team with Rey Fenix as mentioned before. And then meanwhile on the AEW front, AEW sources had no idea that Andrade had left WWE either. It was said that, quote, no bridge is truly burned in AEW, and as long as nothing heinous is tied to a departure, a return to AEW wouldn't be impossible. Dave Meltzer also weighed in on the issue regarding it as a disciplinary issue.
So this was not his doing. I mean, I've seen all the speculation everywhere, and I don't know the whole story, but I do know it was a discipline thing. It was not his doing at all. You know, it wasn't like, oh, he's not being used well, so he's unhappy. I mean, yeah, I'm positive he's unhappy, but it wasn't him asking out.
Then Meltzer went on to talk about the prospect of him going back to AEW, which I don't always agree with Dave Meltzer on some of the things he says, but this I do. Sometimes I think he tends to waffle on with a bunch of I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see, maybe, I don't know. But he mentions that AEW doesn't really need him after the trouble he caused last time. The fact he went back to WWE, and they already have more than enough talent on their roster as well.
They've got these guys like Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, and those guys are no problem, and I just, I wouldn't take him back. You don't need him. Like if you were desperate and you didn't have a lot of talent, absolutely, no doubt, I would take him back. But now, they got too much talent. And Andrade, he ain't going to go on TV and change your ratings or anything like that. I don't think that you need a guy that, caused the trouble that he caused when he was there.
Additional reports indicated that WWE wanted Andrade as part of the Triple A collaboration, but many are suggesting and speculating he didn't do this because of his relationship with CMLL. I saw plenty of people speculating also that it was perhaps due to his marriage falling apart with Charlotte Flair, so maybe this was her call, but that does not seem the case. Whatever your opinion is of Andrade, you can't help but think of all the potential matches he has now lost out on with his latest departure. The likes of Ilya Dragunov and Gunther come to mind. It's a shame we never got to see more of the Andrade that was delivering bangers against Carmelo Hayes in their best of 7 series. It's equally a shame that his only accolade, if you want to call it that, in this return was the Speed Championship. But it'll be interesting to see if anything else breaks out of this story, and if it does, be sure to subscribe here so you don't miss it. Hey guys, DDJ here. Now, Maven was on Ariel Helwani earlier this week, and he had some interesting comments about WWE, AEW, and the fact that nobody trusted Triple H back in the day.
People knew Hunter what he was positioning himself for, which is what he's got now. But I don't want to act like he didn't deserve it or he didn't earn it. He does. You're never going to find a better or a more intelligent mind when it comes to professional wrestling than with Triple H. He's earned every right. Every right that he has truly earned. But yeah, if people want to act like guys backstage felt different, okay, that's their opinion. I see it differently.
So what's interesting about that word is, like, when I think of trust, I think of like, oh, and I know this is not what you mean, but initially you're like, oh, did he try to like take liberties with you?
No, he was never like that. Never, no. I wrestled him several times, and I'll always put Hunter.
Protected you.
100%.
Okay.
And there was never anybody better to be in the ring with. Hunter could keep me from blowing up, meaning getting tired as I'm wrestling, and he was always the easiest person to put a match together with, just because his knowledge is so expansive. But people just backstage, they knew, okay, Hunter is office. It's that simple.
Okay.
He was office, and guys knew that. And guys knew if you're saying something in front of him, it's going to get back to the office.
The thing about Triple H is that he has absolutely earned everything he's got. But at the same time, you can't be running around like Randall from Recess. Although any wrestler in his position would have done the exact same thing. They would have played the exact same card. If you get a chance to grab the keys to the kingdom through a woman you love and married and started a family with, you're not thinking twice about it. I'm sorry, you're not. You can be out here and say, oh, he only got that because of Stephanie and because of this and politics and let me tell you something. Sure, I was in Vince's ear, but big fucking deal. Speaking of Triple H, he got exposed for not actually watching Raw this week when he appeared on Pat McAfee.
Is Io Sky, is that match happening?
Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer for the women's title.
The contract didn't get signed last night, or it got signed?
To be honest, I was not there last night. I haven't had a chance to watch the show yet because I was at. I did Kill Tony last night, so I was in.
Oh, wow.
Hunter, I'm gonna need you to lock in. Let's just crown a damn women's champion already, I say. I know it's gonna happen at WrestlePalooza, but I feel like this period of time in between Naomi announcing that she's pregnant and now has lasted an eternity. And it's probably only been a month. But hey guys, Maven here. He also shared some kind words about AEW.
AEW, that environment seemed like a good place to work.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that.
Seemed like a good place to work.
Good vibe.
Great vibes. And Tony Khan seemed like the best boss to work for. I know he gets a lot of critics, talking about him online. I sat and watched. They were about 30 minutes away from ending the show. And my contact told me, Tony wants to meet with you. He just has to wait till, obviously, the show's over. So no problem. I mean, we're here. We don't have any place to be.
Yeah.
So I sat and I watched Tony for 30 minutes. And every wrestler that came out of that ring, he got up from his producing chair, took his headphones off, made sure every one of them was healthy, happy with the match that they had just had. And you can tell when someone cares, as opposed to when someone's going through the motion. He cares. I left, and I told him to his face, you have changed my perception on what I thought you were. And everybody that I talked to there seemed happy to be there and seemed happy with the product that they were putting out in front of the fans.
That behavior not common? You get back.
I've worked in locker rooms where it was a job.
Okay.
And there were times, especially in WWE, and remember when the Vince bought WCW and you had an influx of brand new talent, and then it's just, it was a rough place, a rough locker room. I often tell people wrestling is the wrestling locker room. It's high school all over again. Only difference, every person is the homecoming king and every girl is the homecoming queen. There are just so many big A-type personalities. It's just tough to juggle from time to time.
Tony Khan himself also replied to the tweet thanking Maven for the kind words. I have to agree with Maven though. AEW now more than ever seems like a much healthier environment than it was during the dark times. And that's really healthy for pro wrestling. Despite many mocking the ratings, the product is fun right now, especially on pay-per-view. I'm not someone who cares whatsoever about the ratings of a wrestling show, and I never really understood why other people did. As long as you are enjoying the show, why do ratings matter? You have no control over that. So I just feel like it's extremely cringe when people are like, oh, well, in this demographic, it happened again. Like, who cares? Then, on the Raw recap, Rey Mysterio gave his thoughts on John Cena's final run.
The day I saw John Cena turn on Cody, I was sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it. But again, I didn't see it coming. So that kind of, I had 50-50 partial feelings on what was going on, because if I didn't see it coming, that means it was done very well. So again, the last match that Cody and Cena had, SummerSlam, was incredible. I really enjoyed it. Me personally, it's very different when you're in the locker room watching the monitors. But when you're at home and you have nobody around and you're just chilling, you're having yourself a drink and you're watching the TV and you're watching the show, you realize things that you don't realize when you're at the arena. So I remember texting both of the Cody and John. I said, really good match, guys. I really enjoyed it from home. Congratulations to both of you.
Now that I'm looking at the dates remaining, Survivor Series is in San Diego, the hometown of Mr. Mysterio. Do we run back Cena and Mysterio, and will Mysterio get his revenge for that night in 2011? Now, personally, I would have preferred to see Dominic versus Cena. I think it would have done a lot more for Dominic, but if this is the direction we're going, I'll watch it. I'll be there because I'm a PG era kid, you know? Then we've got to talk about Grayson Waller's appearance on No Contest Wrestling. Grayson Waller recalled nearly getting into a bar fight after WrestleMania last year when Shayna Baszler, MVP, and Josh Barnett stepped in to back him up.
WrestleMania 40, after I won the tag team championships, we go back to the hotel bar, and sometimes when WrestleMania stuff happens, the fans know what hotel we're at.
Always.
So we're trying to have a good time and chill, and all these fat flops in black shirts and who stink are just like roaming around, trying to grab you and all that. It's the worst. And so there was a guy who kept like just trying to grab and touch and talk to some of the NXT girls. And they're telling me, oh, this guy's bothering us. So I went up to the bar to talk to him. And I was like, hey, can you leave the girls alone? They're trying to have a good night. And this guy was very drunk. He starts firing back at me. He goes to push me. And I'm like, man, I just won the tag team championships. I'm going to get in a fight at the bar at WrestleMania. This is going to be the story. But I have to, like, if he's going to, all of a sudden, first person that walks up next to me, Shayna Baszler. She's like, is everything all good here? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It is now.
Then as she's talking to me, MVP walks up next.
Ooh, okay.
Now I'm feeling pretty good, you know? Shayna Baszler. Then Josh Barnett, who I must admit, I've never met Josh Barnett. Like, I know of him. I know he's a badass. He steps up next and goes, is everything all right here, guys? I sat down at the bar and I just looked at the guy like, hey, I'm good. Like, Shayna Baszler, MVP, Josh Barnett have my back. There isn't a man alive who I think can mess with this team of four. So I almost had like my own super team at the bar at WrestleMania, and that guy, he disappeared real quickly, which was nice. So I think I actually had a real life team of four War Games bar team.
Wrestling fans not knowing how to act. I'm shocked, really.